Hello, today's session is actually me talking about how I make my tutorials. I'm going to be using Shotcut today. A couple of points I'm going to cover are what a Shotcut projects are, where I store the files, so basically my workflow, and then within Shotcut, the windows that I most often use, which are there's a playlist where I import my files, the filters that I use when I'm making the video. Finally, a couple of things that I do about the export. I'm going to tell you about what the video timeline is and the audio timeline is. I get most of my music from a YouTube audio library, which is available from this link. And we'll quickly cover as well stuff to do with shortcut, short keyboard shortcuts, and then while I make a quick video during this tutorial, I'll discuss different playback speeds and cutting out parts of the video that you don't want, and hopefully cover how you transition between one video clip to another. And when I'm using background music, I normally set the properties for the background music to be literally in the background, so I change the file properties. Right, so I opened up a browser then, just to show you that this YouTube audio library looks like this. Yeah, so you can just search for stuff in the YouTube audio library. So if I search for something like Nimbus, which is one that I've downloaded, yeah, there's a couple there. I think if I play this, you might be able to hear it on the. Right, so I'll just minimize that. Right, so let's talk about Shotcut projects, and let's start from there. Right, so I've opened up Shotcut, and when you open up Shotcut, you end up with this new project screen. And at the moment, I've got my projects folder. I've navigated to that particular folder. So if I go to there, we can see that there's nothing in it. So I'm going to do today's date, 16th. I'm going to do Shotcut intro. That's interesting. So it sets the video on the first file that you add. Fair enough. Right, so I've just created this project, and what do we see? Not very much. I'm gonna save that and then show you that in the folder it's now created that project, and in that project is this file. So if I right click and open that, what does it look like? It just looks like this, saying that I've just opened it, so there's no big deal there. But this MLT file will eventually contain all the metadata about the video that you're going to create. So I'll move that out of the way. So that's, I won't really come back to this. I might pop back into it later on to see if there's anything, but pretty much I don't really touch that folder. But I'm just showing you what it is. Right, so what about the raw files? So in my folder here, I've got some more raw files. I've got raw files in there. I've got this text file. I've got my credits image, which I'm going to put into at the end of the video. I'm actually going to delete that because I don't want that one. I made another one. So let's grab that. And that one is, thanks for watching. Then we've got something I'm going to use as a video thumbnail when we import it into YouTube. The video itself, and then just a really boring title page. So I'm going to move, yeah, just a title page, and all this is just today's date and some text. Right, So far we've covered the project folder, the raw files I'm going to import. One of the things I want to also mention about the raw file folder, I tend to date it with a year, month, day, and then a description for the video. And the reason for that is it means that my folders, and then they can be sorted in date order. Right, so let's go back. What else? Well, let's talk about some of the Shotcut windows inside here, specifically playlist, filter, and export. So let's go and look for them. I'm going to click on view. We want to see playlist. And the playlist is where you drag your files. So while that is open, let's drag these. I don't need the text. Drag them into there. Let's just stop that. Filters. Oh, it's already there. But if that wasn't there, we could do view and then filters or Control 6. Filters will come across. We'll use these in a minute. But filters are what you are like actions you can do on the file when it's in your timeline, which we'll talk about shortly. And last but not least, let's look at the export. So imagine if we created a video and we want to export it. You can look at the various settings. You can choose an output, an export format. In terms of like that's basically the resolution of the file that you're going to export. But I'm going to leave that for now until we've created the video. So now within Shotcut, you've got these dots, so I'm going to move that up so I can see more of this lower window. So in this lower window, I want to add, well, I know I'm going to have a video timeline and I'm going to use some background music because this video of a bumblebee is really boring. There's not much going on, but I'm just using it for the training session. And we can see in the playlist that that video clip is only 14 seconds long. Oh, talking about background music, let's go and import some background music. I'm going to save, get into the habit of saving your project because sometimes Shotcut does crash. Let's find my music, which is, I believe, here. So I'm going to, I think I said Nimbus was one that I use a lot. Let's go and look for show something that's got the duration. Right. So I don't want these are really long. That one isn't free, so I can't use that. I've got two of the same Nimbus ones. I'm going to put that in the bin. Let's go and grab some of these, whatever these are. Right, so let's start making the video. We can't get anywhere without having a video timeline because that's where we stick our video clips and images. So I'll click on these three lines. I'm going to add a video track and I'm going to have some background music, which is going to be that Nimbus. So I'm going to also add an audio track. So the first thing we notice is we've got video on top and we've got audio underneath. I'm going to drag the Nimbus there. Oh, the first thing I've done on purpose is the fact that I've not made it start at the start of the clip. There's a gap here. So I'm going to move and it auto snaps to the start of the video, which is great. And the next thing I want to do, there's a couple of ways of doing this. This background track is going to be at full volume or whatever the volume is that the file is. So what I want to do is I want to make that quieter. And there's a few ways of doing this. My preference is I want to view the properties of that file. So I click on the item. So I'm not clicking it from the playlist. No, I'm clicking it that's in this audio timeline, and then I'm going to click on the properties. And in here, there should be, or maybe there isn't. No, it's not. Right, so in here, what we need to do is we need to add a filter to make it quieter. So I clicked on filter. Hang on, let's see what's happened there. Right, let's do a couple of undos because something's gone wrong. Right, there we go. Yeah, because the audio timeline had gone all solid. Right, so I want to click on this to select it. It's gone red. Click on filters. Click on add. And at the moment, it defaults to showing what's been favorited. Right, I know I want to do an audio filter, so I'm going to click on that because it filters the favorites one. It shows you video and audio in one kind of list. We'll click on audio, and I know I want to make it quieter. So it's something to do with volume. So let's find that one, volume. So now that I've clicked on volume, I've still got the background music highlighted, and I know I generally do minus 40 decibels. What's going on there? Right, minus 40. Should be. Yeah, that's really quiet. It's just about right. Yeah, it's quieter. Right. Next, let's go back to my playlist and let's grab the intro. That's now snap to the start. So if I look at the properties for that, it's got it as 3 seconds long. So if I grab the right edge of that, we can now see that I'm extending how long that video is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do control and scroll up to zoom in into the video timeline, and then I can drag that edge and snap it back. So hopefully now this is exactly 10 seconds long, which is great. Next bit is let's go and grab the video file, which is there, and gently place it there. And then let's have a look. So if I press space, it's one of the shortcuts. Well, while talking about shortcuts, I think in the list of things we're going to show, keyboard shortcuts, F1. Well, I know it's F1 because in Shotcut I can click on help, and then it brings up this, which is a website, a web page with all the different shortcuts that we've got. Right. One I will use later on is S, which is splice. There, or split, as it's called in this. Right. So let's move the mouse, and we can click on any part of this part of the editing window, and that will mean from there we can press spacebar to play. So there we've got a mixture of audio from the video and the background music. I'm going to press space to pause it again. I'm going to do control and scroll back, because we can see that the audio timeline is, what was it, 4 minutes something? Yeah, 4 minutes 40. And at the moment we've only made a video of less than a minute by a long shot. So I'm going to grab that audio timeline. I'm just going to drag it all the way back there, and then control and scroll up to zoom in. And then I'm going to look at this again. So I don't want the audio on that. So that means on the video timeline I can click on that to mute the audio, and the effect of that is this audio wave gets muted. So if I now view the video back that we're editing, you can't hear the B. Okay, fine. It's not going to be a masterpiece. This is just how to demo it, which is fine. Let's see if there's anything else we can use. I'm just looking for some random. Right, I'm going to pause the video while I go and look for some random video clip that I can splice together. Right, managed to find the file, a random file. So I'm going to import that file into this playlist. So let's go and find it. That's the project. Don't care about that. So it's this one here. So this is of my son at Tumble Tots. So grab that, drop that in there. And I'm going to grab that into this. Right, so at the moment I've just butted it up, right up to the previous clip. Right, so a couple of things. I'm just looking back now what he's doing. I'm looking for a suitable point where I can cut the end of the video off. Right, so first things first, I'm going to extend the music. And then I'm going to use my left and right arrow keys to scroll through to a point where I think it's a good point to split or splice. Right. So I think I'm going to do it where he then lets go. So he's grabbed the last rung, cheats, and then there. Right. So at this point, taking note of what video I've selected. I'm going to select the one of Hugo climbing across, and then I'm going to press S, and that's going to split this file into two sections. What that means is I can now delete this end section. If there was a section in the middle that we wanted to remove, just move it along, split it again, then click on that bit that you want to cut out, and then delete it. Just so happens I want to get rid of both. Right, so that's how to splice or split. The other thing I wanted to tell you about was, look at this, we can probably, there, we can probably split that there. Oh, actually, I've split it and I don't want to. I'm going to do an undo. Right. But we are 25 seconds in, is that right? No. No. So we are. So it's probably a minute and a half, second and a half that we can use there. So what I mean by use, I want to create a transition between the B and instead of having a hard swap over between clips, I want to have a transition of about a second or so. Right. So then it looks like this. So I'm going to undo that. I'm going to scroll in, zoom in, and then I'm going to drag that and just make it overlap. Right, so now that's a transition of 5 seconds. So let's see what happens there. Undo. grab that a bit longer. Right, so let's have a look at, I think that is just a blend. Yep. So I've changed my mind. What I want to do is I want to fade the end of this video to black, and then I want to, from black, fade this video in. So let's just guess. So we are there. So if we go back 22, let's try 5 seconds. So let's go back to 17. Split it. That one I'm going to add a filter because we want to do a fade out. I think it's called that. Fade out. There we go. Let's have a look at how does that look. Okay, that works. Right. Right. So that is, let's move that to butt up against that one. And let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seconds in. Select this clip, split it. That one we're going to do a filter and fade in. Now let's have a look at how that feels. Okay, it's a bit better. So let's refer back to that text file. So we've told you about the shortcut. Video playback speed, not covered that yet. Splicing is the S shortcut. The transition is you move clips to overlap. Audio background music, you add an audio track, and then you set the, what was it, volume? You add a filter, right? And then the filter for that is the gain volume. Gain volume, right? So what's this video properties? Playback speed or whatever, right? So I think it's to do with how quite quickly or slowly the video plays back. Right, so if we click on the properties tab, so if I click on a clip and then click on the properties tab, one of the things you notice is you've got this speed setting that you can change. So at the moment it's playing back at normal speed, which is 1. So if I made that lower, smaller than 1, it would slow it down. Likewise, if you made that a higher value, then it will speed it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to knock that down to half. Likewise with this one, so that doubles the length of that. So there. Right, so shortcut crashed. Annoying. So let's go and open it back up and see how much work we've got to redo. Probably quite a lot because I don't think I saved a lot since the start. But it means we can race through this. It saved the recent one. So what are we missing? We're missing the background music and the additional video. And there's no timeline, but that's okay. We can quickly rattle through this. Grab that, save it. Let's grab some background music. Music, and Nimbus. Grab that. Add a video, add an audio. Move that up a bit higher. I'm gonna drop Nimbus there. I'm gonna add a filter, which is gain volume, and that one is -4. playlist, we have an intro. And the properties for that, I can't see the properties, so I'm going to go to view and bring that in. I'm going to make that 10 seconds. And then we are going to grab the B. And then we are going to grab Hugo. I'm going to make Hugo, well, before I do anything, I'm going to save it. And then Hugo's clip, I'm going to make it a bit slower. So that's worked. Scroll back. Right. Click away, click back. It is 0.6 speed, which is cool. I'm going to move this to there. That looks familiar, so I'm going to go back 5 seconds. I'm going to split that. I'm going to scroll in. That one, I'm going to do a filter and fade out. There's a search there with a, so as you type it searches. I'm going to fade video out. Oh, we need to mute the sound on that video track. And oh, there is one thing I've not showed you. You can actually add more than one video track. Right, so that's what happens when you add another video track. And why do you do that? That means you can actually have, and it makes it easier to edit if you have a secondary video track, which is, I've just moved the Hugo clip up to the second V2 video timeline. Now by doing that, I won't be affected by the fact that I've muted the audio in V1 because V2 has the audio. What happens if you have these tracks and they overlap at some point? Well, the way that the layers work is you look from top down. So at the moment, there's nothing in V2, so the only video you can see is the video from V1. But when it reaches this point here, it then can start V2, which means we've missed most of that transition. Well, actually, let's ignore that transition and move it there. Right. So if I move that to there first, there's a gap. So if I click play, you should see the B clip, the video of the bee and the sunflower. Then there'll be a blank screen, and then the video of Hugo. Right, I'm going to mute that because that's really loud. If I move that to there, it just kicks in straight away. So you can have multiple video tracks. It might make your workflow easier to manage. Let's just carry on. So I've saved it just in case it crashes. Let's do another. What's the properties for this file? It should still be 0.6 it is. Let's go and move it 5 seconds, split it, save it. I'm going to do a filter on that and fade in. Right, and let's look at that again. Right, remember, we need to cut the end of this off, cut part of it off. So let's go back to there. Use the arrow keys. That's where we'll split it. Get rid of that. And then last but not least, let's see. We want to shorten this. There's a quick way of doing that. Probably is. that to there. Let's go to playlist, the credits, put that on the end there. How long's this? Let's look at the properties for that. It's 3 seconds. Let's make that to 10 again. There's probably a better way of doing this. I don't know how to do it. Right. I want to split that, the audio track. I don't want that on the end. Right, that'll be it. It's a dodgy video. Right, so we've got a fade out, a video fade in. There's no audio because we turned both of them off. We've got the background music going on. Right, Control S to save it. Let's go back to the start. So we should have 10 seconds of the intro screen. So I'm already bored anyway. I'm bored already, so 10 seconds is a bit too long. Then we've got the B clip. That should then fade out. And then we've got the slow-mo. Off you go. Right. So, happy with that. Let's go and look at the export screen. I'm going to leave configure. I'm not going to touch configure. I'm going to use hardware encode instead of software. So now it's detected this. So let's leave them. I'm going to choose, let's go on advanced, and this shows me that the export is going to be that size. I don't want that. Let's make it a bit bigger. Let's see if I want something that's 12 by 1280 by something. Alright. Let's just type it in, see if it works. This is just the encoding. What about the video size? There we go. How about that one? That'll work. This is MOV. Can I change that to MK4, MP4? And what else? I think that's it. Leave that as is. Right, so I'm guessing the video, the raw footage video was 640 by whatever it was, and I'm going to upscale it. When I click on export, let's see what happens. Alright, so it prompts me where I want to save it. Let's go to there, and then YouTube. And I'm going to call it export. Now we end up with this job, and then it's going to rattle through, so it's going to be quick. So I'm going to keep the video recording. So while that's exporting, what's that? That's the music. So let's go to there. So it's finished. That's finished. So the export file is there. So if I play that in VLC, That's the exported video. Now, there's one of the reasons why I've made the end credits 10 seconds is because when we upload it into YouTube, in YouTube you can add end cards. And end cards means that while this last 10-second clip is playing, you've got buttons in the video that you can use to your advantage. So one of the buttons could be to subscribe to your channel, and another button could be to view another video within your collection, or any other video. You just copy and paste the URL into that button in the end card. So let's go and do that. So let's go back into YouTube. I'm going to click on the create. I'm going to drag that export file into there. Actually, I'm in the wrong place. I don't want to upload this into that area. So let's go and delete. I'm going to change. I'm going to pause it and change over to my private video area. Right, so just quickly swapped over. So now I'm going to upload the video into there. Drag and drop. Get rid of that. I recommend when you import videos, you should tag them. Makes it easy to search. So I'm going to say, what have we got in this? Bees, B, comma, bees, comma, sunflower, comma, you could be searching for summer, I guess, or pollen. And what else? Tumble tops. No, this video's rubbish, so I'm going to just go through the motions and show you the fact that you can add tags. What else? Not too fussed about the playlist. It's more to do with the end card that I want to show you. So where does that crop up? Why can't I add the end card? There is a way of doing the end card. Let's click on my videos. I think now that it's finished processing, maybe it's too short to add end card. That's probably why. Right, okay. Let's go back and click on a different video. Let's edit this video because it's 2 minutes long. Because I'm sure I can add an end card on this. Or maybe I can't because I need my other account. Is that editor? Nope, that's not it. So what we'll do is I'll pause the video and then we'll flip over to my other video. So I can show you the end card. Right, so I'm now on my how to through channel. Let's go and choose this one. And in here, end screen's there. So maybe I could have done it in the other one. So I'll flip back over to my own video channel. I'm going to edit that video that I've just uploaded. End screen is there. There we go. Right, so we had that 10-second clip at the end where, thanks for watching, the end credits were. Right, so I'm going to, what we can do is we can choose things to add, and I generally add this one here, which is a video link and a subscribe link. So if I click on that, we end up with these popping up at the video, and we can see here, if I click on that one, that's a subscribe button. That one's the video and that one's the subscribe button. And to change when that appears, I think I can drag that to about there, which changes the time up there, or you can just edit the time. I think it starts about there. And for the video, I'm then going to drag it to the same place. And you can change this video link. You can let Google's algorithm choose a video that's best for the viewer, or you can choose a specific video. Maybe that one there. That one's going to be your subscribe, show hover card outline. So I'm going to do that one. Maybe not. We can move them around. So I'll put that on bottom, move that to bottom. That's generally what I do. But that's one of the reasons why you have an end credits image at the end of the video, so you can then have this end screen. So that means that someone who's watching the video can, whilst they're watching the video, you can click on the subscribe without having to click on the actual subscribe button somewhere else, or click on a video of, if you want to lead the viewer onto a different video, you can make them click on a video on the right hand side, right hand bottom there. I'm going to click save, and that should be that. Oh, last bit. We had a previous file, didn't we? Which was that image. Why? It's because I want to use that image instead of one of these auto-generated thumbnails within YouTube. So I'm going to use that file by clicking on upload thumbnail, and then YouTube shortcut, and then that big flower there. So I'm going to use that one and then save, and that's it. We're done with editing. We're done with YouTube. I've not added in descriptions, but you should do. What happened there? Let's go back to video. Cancel, save. I want that, and then save. Right, so now my thumbnail is. I don't know what's going on there. Don't know why that didn't work. But in theory it should do. There we go. No, didn't work. Not sure why. But in theory you can upload your own image. Don't know why it didn't work. But yeah, that's how I normally do it. Let's have that. Let's use a big B image there. Maybe it's too big. That's probably why. Okay, let's try that. Maybe it is too big. So I'm going to make a copy of that before I edit it. And I'm going to open that in Paint.net. And I'm going to resize the image. 1280. No, that was 720. Let's see what that does. That's it. Save that. Save image. Yeah. So we're going to try and upload that copy. YouTube is being a bit weird. Will that work? Not sure why that's not working. Maybe Control and F5 will fix it. Anyway, I think I'll finish this video. If you use the upload thumbnail, then you can add your own custom thumbnail to it, and that might be, you might have a better image compared to letting YouTube grab a frame from within the video as the thumbnail. You could do that if you wanted to. Right, and what we're doing. So this has been going on for 46 minutes. So if you're still awake, thanks for watching.